light versus dark, good versus evil, a royal family displaced, and a young cub must mature into a Lion King. No, not that guy. I'm talking Lionel, Lord of the Thundercats. And this is the cartoons that made us. The 1980s gave us several great cartoons, one of which gave us one of the most iconic symbols ever to be used in cartoons and one of the most merchandised symbols the cartoons has ever produced. That's right, I'm talking Thundercats. The Thundercats first debuted in 1985 and would continue for 4 seasons until 1989. After completing its initial run, the Thundercats were rebooted twice. The first being in 2011, which continued the mythos and expanded on the lore. The latter being Thundercats Roar, which we'll talk about later. The original mythos goes as follows. Long ago, the Thundercats acquired the Eye of Thundera and mounted it into the hilt of their most powerful weapon, an enchanted sword. The new Eye of Thundera and Hand of Jaga was able to bring order to the galaxy under the reign of the King of the Thundercats, whose name is never mentioned. But Jaga would age, and the mutants would rise up to challenge the rule of the Thundercats. After attacking and destroying Thundera, the home planet of the Thundercats, the royal family is displaced and attempts to escape with the rest of the planet's space fleet. The mutants overwhelm the flagship, causing a battle. In the battle, Lionel wields the Eye of Thundera, but Jaga is mortally wounded. The rest of the royal family enter their life pods so that they don't age during the long journey to the closest life-supporting planet, Third Earth. After crash landing on Third Earth and being followed by the mutants, the presence of the Thundercats and their new power is noticed by the planet's most powerful inhabitant, the ancient sorcerer known as Mum-Ra. Mum-Ra can't have the Thundercats challenging his power over the Third Earth, so he enslaves the mutants and begins plotting on how to remove the power from the Thundercats. As I mentioned before, the original series ran for 4 years before being abruptly canceled due to low toy sales. Welcome back. After the initial run, the reboot in 2011 reinvented the mythos that goes as follows. Long ago, Lord Mum-Ra conquered the universe and created several humanoid animal species to serve and worship him, the way he serves and worships the ancient spirits of evil. But because the beings he created are sentient, they soon become aware of their oppression and begin to rebel. The spirits command Mum-Ra to unite the 4 power stones, but while Mum-Ra is hunting for the stones, the animal species unite with Panthera and Leo leading the cats. Leo steals the War Stone and inserts it into the hilt of the Sword of Omens. Mum-Ra's spaceship crash lands on Third Earth with Mum-Ra unable to be freed from his sarcophagus without the help from someone on the outside. The animal species slowly begin to regress and forget their past, only contained by Jaga and the clerics in the Book of Omens. Both the original and the reboot borrowed heavily from the Egyptian mythos. For example, its main antagonist, Mum-Ra, being an Egyptian god king, Ra, in his resurrected form after giving himself over to the ancient spirits of evil. As well, the ancient spirits of evil appear in the form of Egyptian gods, such as the crocodile-headed one representing Sobek, the falcon-headed one representing Horus, the dog-headed one representing Anubis, and a serpent-headed one representing Seth. The Thundercats themselves are reminiscent of the Egyptian goddess Bast, who has a cat-like feline form. The popularity of the Thundercats did cross over into several different genres, and it had a Marvel Comics adaptation for its original run, which was later adapted by DC and Wildstorm for the second iteration. Both comics would expand the lore, dive into the history of the Thundercats, and add new characters. These comics would see crossovers between Thundercats and some of Marvel's greatest heroes, as well as some of DC's greatest heroes. Also, we would get, finally, a Masters of the Universe and Thundercats together, before finally getting Masters of the Universe versus Thundercats. The Thundercats' Eye of Thundera symbol is easily recognized and has been used in merchandising everything from coffee cups to bed sheets. And although the reboot was praised by both critics and audiences alike, it too would suffer due to low toy sales and be abruptly canceled after just one season. But because the toys weren't doing well and LGN canceled the line abruptly, Thundercats toys are some of the most sought after by collectors. For instance, an original 1985 Mum-Ra will be valued at about $70 today. Likewise, an original version of the Thunder Tank would fetch you $374 respectively. But a mint condition 85 Lino is fetching anywhere between $6,000 to $7,000. Better check the toy bins. Now to the controversy. And no, I'm not talking about Chitara versus Pumara. We know that the low sales for toys caused both the cancellation of the original and the reboot. We know that the Thundercats have been closely compared to the Masters of the Universe. No, it's not that the Thundercats IP has changed hands many times, adding to licensing issues. No, it's none of that. Not even the on-again, off-again blockbuster that we've been promised for years. Nope. It's the blasphemous atrocity of visual garbage that's called Thundercats Roar. 9 years after what Warner Brothers perceived as a failure, due again to low toy sales, Warner would again attempt a reboot of the Thundercats. Only this time, they'd go full out Teen Titans Go with it, ending up with the disastrous Thundercats Roar. And seriously, I wouldn't even recommend this show for babies. It erased all the heroism and character development for fart jokes and idiotic role models. Needless to say, the backlash from the longtime fan base wasn't happy with Roar, and they let it be known in several different ways, one of which resulted in the series being canceled midway through its first season. Before we go, let's give some love to the original cast, especially Earl Hyman and Lynn Lipton, who played Chitara and Wily Kid and Panthro and Mum-Ra respectively. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out.